Ooh, that's cool. Vertical, horizontal. When to know to shoot vertical or horizontal? Just do both. What's poppin', people? It's Dante here along the Philadelphia Museum of Art on this snowy, cold day. Beautiful, beautiful Philadelphia. I am outdoors and here to stay, where to remain in the state of play is the ultimate goal. You'll sometimes see people sledding down this stair set. It's crazy. I grew up sledding along the Belmont Plateau, which is over yonder somewhere, and beautiful view of the skyline, kind of like this. Honestly, this is pretty cool too. I mean, it's just more dangerous with the freaking stairs. But I grew up sledding, snowboarding, etc. along the Belmont Plateau. We would make these gigantic ramps, and I would enjoy myself as a kid. However, I actually acquired scarlet fever. Scarlet fever. What is scarlet fever, and why do I want to say this term like such? Scarlet fever, it just sounds like something from the 1920s. And did people from the 1920s sound more proper, or is that just an illusion that I have in my head, that people sounded like this in the 1920s? Scarlet fever. Scarlet fever. It was a terrible time. I found myself with a skin rash, feverish temperatures and conditions, throwing up for like 2 weeks straight or whatever. It's like, what happened? What did I do? Maybe I had some snow in my boot. Who knows? But I got sick in the cold. But here I am anyways. Yeah, it seems that the biggest issue right now is just shooting with the Ricoh. It's like how to approach this without breaking the camera. I'm just gonna make a few snapshots and go home. I should have brought an umbrella, should have wore the raincoat over top of my coat, because it's probably more water resistant. I didn't really realize that it's snowing like this. When I walked outside it wasn't, and it just started to. So anyway, yeah, I've got some Gore-Tex shoes on. They seem fine. I mean, they're just basic Asics Gore-Tex shoes. I have 2 pairs of pants. The jacket is just obviously sticking with all the ice, so I should just put the raincoat on over top. It's probably best to just have one of those military Gore-Tex jackets for these conditions, but alas, we work with what we got, you know. It's all good. I got the alpaca wool socks on, super warm socks. Gloves kind of suck, but it's okay. I'm walking anyway, because to walk is to be human, right? We are bipedal human beings. Let's go outside, let's thrive together. Where to be indoors is a bore, and where souls go to die. I am very passionate about being outdoors and walking. This is something that maybe isn't talked about much nowadays, right? Where you're told to sit down and shut up and just do your little task, do your busy work at the computer. Yeah, but here I am, outside in the great outdoors. This is such a beautiful day. I mean, honestly, just look around. It's just like crazy. It's so nice. Look at Washington standing tall atop his horse. Beautiful sculpture. Love admiring all the art around the city. Even this lamppost to me becomes art, right? The intricate detail, where it seems as though we had craftsmanship at one point, right? We would make things that nowadays, I mean, I look at this and I'm like, this belongs in the museums, right? I think a lot of the things in museums are just things and found objects that we acquire over the years of, you know, time passing. The objects become art. Maybe it's a dying art to create functional artistic pieces like these lamps around Philadelphia. I revel in them. They are just incredible structures. Well, let's walk in the snow, see if it's okay. Yeah, we're good. GoPro Mini 1080p 30 fps exported to 720p at super view. practice my left-handed throw. Haha, target acquired. Eliminated the target. Look at the trees standing tall. This is a nice part of the walk, actually. Just being around trees, having this sort of fresh air feels so good, actually. Like the cold weather, I don't know, I like it. I mean, it makes me feel alive. There's something fresh about it. Like there's like this fresh, crisp feeling when you're walking in the colder conditions. How do I prepare myself in the morning for the cold? I take a really cold shower followed by an insanely hot and blissful bath where I start to sweat, and it's like a sauna. So yeah, maybe the yin and yang between these two things is good for our immune systems, where maybe I won't get scarlet fever this time. You know, now that I'm taking these precautions and perhaps doing these little rituals will be good for my immunity. Who knows though? Maybe it's all bullshit. But you know, there's one thing that I find to be one of these critical things to consider in terms of health and physiology this past year of doing 100% carnivore red meat diet, fermented kimchi side, yum yum, good stuff. My gut health is just impeccable. It's like, well, first of all, on the carnivore diet you have no flatulence. Yes, Dante does not fart. But then you just have like a clear head in the morning, more energy. When you're fasted and you have one meal a day too, this is good. I think your gut becomes strong. There's something about the body-mind connection, right? It's something I'm trying to think about and learn about more. But there's something to be said here where perhaps when you think of terms such as like mental health, honestly, I think it's just gut health. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like perhaps having healthy gut, in turn you will have a healthy mind, healthy body, happy soul, right? Happy Dante. And in the past I would just eat whatever, right? Like I would go to the little markets and the Chipotle, whatever in the city, and just eat the schlop all over and just not really care about my dieting. And you know, I would certainly have more mood swings, more depressive thoughts, maybe angry easier, etc. But now on the carnivore diet, there's something about meat where it's like you get this like calming feeling, and I'm just really excited about it, and I want to share it because maybe if someone's feeling sad or depressed or something, yeah, consider your diet, consider the foods that you eat and consume. And honestly, the more red meat the better, it seems. I get better sleep, more energy, and it's much easier for me to curb any negative emotions essentially. So it's like testosterone equals happiness, basically. And I also just have this like childlike wonder. I feel like I was born again this past year in a funny way, where, you know, I laugh more, I smile more, I'm just genuinely more cheerful, and yeah, it's a good thing. And I think it certainly has to do with my health, but particularly gut health, right? So maybe that's worth considering. Or the little aliens, the little microbiome, whatever is going on in your gut, speaks to your mind. And I think maybe it's just important to consider the things we consume and gut health. Yeah. I think also to just embrace the elements is a wise notion, right? To just go outdoors, explore, no matter the conditions. Like, look at how beautiful this walk is around these trees. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. Life, isn't it so grand? The different change of seasons is something that I cherish, where, you know, when the snow falls, it almost looks like this blanket covers everything. And when there's fog in the air, and you know, there's like this atmosphere that is just unlike sunny days, right? Where maybe there's no such thing as bad weather, right? Bad weather, good photos, right? I think to embrace the elements is a good one. You know, whether it's raining, pouring, or the old man, he may be snoring. I say just go out there and play. It's cool how you can see the footsteps. Retrace your steps each day. I think that using the slideshow as a way to view your work is interesting. It's almost like you retrace your steps and relive the experiences in a consecutive order sequence. I find this to be a really, really critical thing for me going forward, is to make slideshows at least every once in a while. Maybe one day I'll make them more considered and actually cull through work and make them more proper, add audio, whatever, maybe do more pairings and things and just play with it more. But recently, waking up in the morning, well, I don't want to slip here, playing my slideshow on the big screen TV. It's such a nice way to view my work and to study my own work and to just enjoy. It's like there's no TV show, there's no movie, there's nothing out there that's going to entertain me. But through actually observing and culling through my own photographs, using the slideshow has provided me with this like little movie on the screen that is all about my experience, right? It's kind of cool. It's like the experience of watching a slideshow is nice. Kind of just sit back, relax, and unwind. There's something about the passage of time and the photographs being in consecutive order allows you to observe that sort of passage. And when you photograph, perhaps you exist outside the passage of time. Maybe the photographs will outlive us. And also, I like the notion of the now. And photographing allows you to completely forget about the past, the future, etc., where you are grounded here in reality to bear witness to the things around us. And maybe street photography is just all about that, bearing witness as a bystander, and to experience life to its fullest. And maybe to get to the root of the medium of photography is to practice street photography. How did I get into street photography? Honestly, living in Philadelphia, I've always been an urban explorer. I used to walk around these parts of town with my first digital camera, the Canon T3i or something, Canon 22i, whatever, and I would photograph with that just on the streets. I remember in high school I had a photography class when I was a sophomore or something, and so I've been into this thing since I was around 16. My uncle Bill, he had a Leica M3, which was insane. He would let me borrow it on the weekends, and I got to learn how to photograph using the proper gear, I guess you could say. A freaking Leica M3 with the 35mm with a goggle. Got to learn about the process of making photos on the street in the city of Philadelphia here, where I've walked the same streets a decade plus later, and it's just insane to see the change of the streets, right? Market Street in particular is a city, or part of the city that I'm interested in, where there's always change happening, businesses closing and opening, malls being constructed, apparently a new basketball arena will come or something. There's just always change, and I think like treating photography this way, where you sort of just document the change over time as it passes, sort of just making a little time capsule for people in the future to figure out what was going on, I think is another good way to think about photography. Just treat it as the excuse to see the world, right? You're just curious, like, what's going on, right? What's happening? And to use the camera as the passport, as the tool to open up many doors in life. There's always something out there, no matter how mundane life may seem to be a bore. But when you walk the same lane every single day with a camera, with repetition, you will find endless possibilities where everything and anything becomes photographable, and wielding the camera like a sword to cut through the chaos and to reveal the soul of both life and yourself as the photographer, where photography merely gives your life more meaning, and it fuels my lust for life itself. It keeps me exploring, it keeps me traveling to new places, it just keeps me curious, right? Where curiosity is the goal, and for me to go out there endlessly with longevity at the forefront, I have to make a process for myself that's speedy and easy. So I've been using the Ricoh GR3 with the small JPEG high contrast black and white iPad Pro. Photos app is so quick. USB-C to SD dongle, plug it in, plug and play. And to cull through the photos this way seems to be good for my longevity. We're in the past using raw files, blah blah blah. Super slow, super boring. That shit's old school to me at this point, which is kind of funny. It's like, is raw files, or is shooting raw old school? Like, can the I don't know, like, it's just kind of interesting, all this sort of digital stuff. Digital world, digital future, the slideshow, digital slideshows, iPads, we the new Moseses. We the new Moses, baby. I got the tablets, you know, the iPad tablet. It's a pretty cool device, sleek and sexy. Just hand hold it, no keyboard, no pen, whatever attachments they have. Just use the voice dictation on the keyboard. Just click the little microphone and speak to it. Also start a wordpress.org blog, bluehost.com. Host your first name, last name, own your domain, become the Lion King, and install the Jetpack plugin, VideoPress, if you want to host your own videos. Start typing away using that microphone voice dictation feature, where perhaps it's more interesting to just speak when you're writing. And in the new world of ChatGPTs and things, you can't really tell what's real, what's not. So when you write using the voice dictation, it becomes a little bit more it's literally your voice. And yeah, maybe it's a good way to determine what's real, what's not, whatever. It's like grammatical errors are good. Also, when you want to use ChatGPT, I highly suggest it. Try it out. ChatGPT is cool. You can learn and study etymology while reading. I've been using it while reading books to just understand words and things and simple histories about my town, anything I'm curious about. The point is, there's no need for Google. Maybe Google is bad. Lots of distractions, rabbit holes and things that you sort of get sucked into, but ChatGPT cuts through the noise. Also, using the visualization tool from DALL-E 3 is cool. My favorite thing is to say, you know, create a marble sculpture, create an ancient Greek marble sculpture of Achilles in a minimalist gallery with lighting inspired by Caravaggio. Seems to be a cool keyword. With anything you're curious about, you can make a sort of marble sculpture visualization. Pretty cool stuff. You can use these illustrations and things to fill blog posts. Also, using the ZenBrush app in the morning to do calligraphy drawings is fun, just to sort of zen out and just use your finger to draw. I also have been enjoying using the Kendama as a meditative tool, where this little wooden Japanese toy allows you to sort of shut down and sort of have this mind-body connection experience that is unlike anything I've had in the past. And yeah, maybe it helps me with my photography in a unique way, and I honestly believe in this because the way that you operate a Ricoh is very similar. A lot of the times I'm not even looking through the viewfinder, or the LCD screen rather, and I kind of just point and shoot, and you become in tune with the photographs you make this way, and the way in which you dance with the camera. Look at the world as a canvas. Everything is art. You are art. Treat your body like both a sculpture and you are the sculptor, right? So I don't know, I think it's maybe seen as vain or insane to be proud of one's body, but I like waking up in the morning and looking at myself and just feeling proud and strong, and it's something that I believe is a duty of all men, to be strong. So yeah, weightlifting, farmer's walk, push-ups, pull-ups, and more red meat, baby. So easy. The lamb leg from Costco, throw it in a slow cooker for 8 hours. Just let the machines do it. I come home, I have my meal ready for me. Just throw some thyme, some rosemary, salt. That's about it. Beef broth, and so tender, so good. Maybe this is the best thing they have at Costco. The lamb leg, check it out, try it out. Yeah, you can sort of set it up for 9 to 5, 8 hours, boom. You come home, warm up, and enjoy. I've gotta say, it's important to be careful. Just don't die, right? A lot of the times I've traveled to dangerous places. I first actually learned to photograph in Baltimore, which is a relatively dangerous neighborhood, right? Is this where the most homicides are in the country? One of them. One of these cities. It's one of those cities. Super sketchy city. I started off with the GR2 there, and Yeah, I chose the GR2 in 2015 when I was photographing there because it's a small compact camera that I could slip in my pocket. You know, I didn't want to appear to be, you know, this photographer or whatever, and sort of just blend in or whatever. You know, there would be times where you just gotta be wise. And I mean, this taught me a lot, right? How to be streetwise, I think, is just a good notion. Streetwise, you want to be streetwise when you're practicing street photography. I've been using my Ricoh GR3 as a mirror to look over my shoulder and look through the reflection, so I know if people are coming behind me, because even here in Philadelphia it can be a bit sketch. And I mean, yeah, just don't die. I mean, don't do anything stupid. I've done things that are stupid. I mean, I was young and dumb, 20 years old, when I went to Jerusalem to study. I remember taking the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. This was the coolest path I ever taken. I think the coolest city I've ever visited in general, honestly. Now that I think about it, the city of the moon, the lowest elevated place in the world. Incredible desert land. Very biblical, interesting experience photographing there. I mean, I've traveled to all the different Palestinian cities, from Hebron, Ramallah, Nablus, Jenin, etc. But I found solace in this place, Jericho, where even aesthetically, it was just more interesting to me, being in the desert, where it was always beautiful and sunny and hot, and there was nice backdrops, good people, hospitable people. And actually, I fell in love with this place so much that after I graduated, I decided to volunteer in a kibbutz in Israel. And I spent my time there for like a month, milking cows, gardening and things on the kibbutz. And after a month, I kind of got tired of it. So I decided to take the road all the way from the north of Israel to Jericho once again. Oh, I also tried to get into Gaza. It didn't work out. You have to have a press pass or something, I don't know. Or just like have like a letter. Like, I don't know what the deal was. I guess you couldn't get in there. Maybe that's good that I wasn't able to get in there. I don't know, I wish I was able to at the time. They wrote out T. That's cool. T. Somebody probably photographed it from above or something. That's cool. T. Oh, I would drink lots of tea with the people. When I went down the to Jericho that time after the kibbutz, I just knocked on the door of this hostel, and I was able to volunteer there for a few months, maybe 2 to 3 months, living with the Palestinian family, fasting, Ramadan, eating pigeon, sharing meals, dates were very common. And actually, after 2 months of learning about Islam, praying with the people, sleeping on the floors of the masjid with an imam named Hersham, he taught me all about the ways of Muhammad, and I wound up becoming converted to Islam at the end of this experience, which is crazy. All you really have to do is just learn about it, read the Quran. I spent like 2 weeks, a couple weeks, knocking on the doors of homes and gathering people to come and pray in the masjid. And at the end, I just wound up saying a few terms like, oh, I believe in Allah, the one true prophet, or I believe in Allah the prophet, and or I believe in Muhammad the prophet, and Allah is the one true God, or whatever it was, right? I mean, it's just a unique thing I did. I mean, I think it's good to study all the biblical texts, right? The Bible, the Torah, you know, the Quran, all this stuff is probably good to learn about. So I have a very unique experience with Israel itself, right? Both living in a kibbutz, volunteering in the Palestinian city. So it's just a unique experience overall. Yeah. Actually, one of the things that I would do in Baltimore was I would to blend in, and like the first things I learned on the streets to be streetwise or whatever, I would buy loose, like people would sell loose cigarettes and stuff on the street, and I would just buy a loose cigarette, chill. Maybe I would smoke one, put one in my ear, just kind of like, I mean, I don't like smoking cigarettes and I don't condone it. I think they're bad. I mean, maybe, do people that smoke cigarettes hate their lives? I don't know. But it was just a streetwise thing for me at the time. I don't know, maybe it's stupid, but I'm just giving my own anecdotes of how I was able to photograph in these communities. And I would similarly do the same thing when I was in the Palestinian cities. Always just like, oh, you want to have a smoke or whatever, and just smoke with the person and drink a cup of tea or coffee, you know, whatever. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. I mean, I don't know, this is what I did. You probably don't have to do this, but I'm just explaining myself. And every morning I would wake up and knock on the door of Muhammad's house, this young boy, 21 years old. We were about the same age at the time, living on his own in this city, Jericho. He would show me his morning routine, combing his hair, brushing his teeth, shaving, etc. And I would photograph him, like looking through the mirror, doing the sort of documentary style photography. He would take me to Hassan's house, his friend who was older, maybe in his 60s, but he was living alone with a breathing machine and would constantly be smoking, right? Always smoking cigarettes, constantly smoking. Wow, this is freaking beautiful. Always smoking cigarettes. And it's just like a denial of life. It made me question things, right? The addiction of cigarettes, tobacco, nicotine, whatever it is. And also even considering foods and obesity and things, it's just not good. It's like all this ultra processed food in the city, all this sugar and nonsense that's in the food source. It's just bad. And it's kind of sad. It's like he couldn't really do much, but he would just constantly smoke and just sit around on his breathing machine. And it's obvious, you know, told me the reason he has the breathing machine was because of his smoking habit. And I mean, I would water his garden, eat lemons with Muhammad, and he would just take the whole thing and just like eat the freaking skin of the lemon and everything, and it was just funny. It's like, what? We were doing like lemon eating contests. It was fun. Yeah, pigeon is good. The Palestinians eat lots of pigeon. Pigeon is delicious. I think maybe I should start the Philadelphia Pigeon Project here and make my own pigeon coop. These experiences inspired me to join the Peace Corps, where I volunteered in Zambia, Africa as a rural aquaculture promotion specialist, working with fishermen in the villages. I got to learn the local language, Ichibemba. There's 72 tribes in Zambia. I was a member of the Bemba tribe. I was greeted with a goat to slaughter when I arrived, the most wholesome and beautiful greeting I ever had in my life. We should start doing that more. Maybe in the city, I'll go to Costco. You can buy a whole goat anyways. I'm gonna start hanging goats from trees around town and put lamb blood on the doors to keep the angel of death from lurking around the corner, where that's the only heuristic, right? To just not die, but to know your limits, right? So when it comes to the snow and things, it's like, just tiptoe, don't walk too fast, don't slip. You know, you can die at any time, and it's good to remind yourself of your sort of nature as a human, right? The sort of fate of the human, rather, death. Where, you know, look, I'm gonna slip, right? Like, it's slippery. Like, I could slip and fall and bust my head down this slippery staircase right now. Or if I'm in Miami and I'm walking under palm trees, a coconut could fall and hit my head. Okay, and then I would be dead, and there'd be no more Dante. Good morning. No problem. And yeah, come underground, descend into Hades to thaw out. You know, snow days. I used to like snowboarding, but nowadays I don't think I'd ever do it again. I mean, it's just dangerous and stupid. You can break your bones. I feel similarly about skateboarding. Man, these gloves suck. I need wool gloves. But yeah, like when I skate, like I still like it. Like it's fun to do these exhilarating things and sort of adrenaline rushing, whatever. Thinking of my time photographing at the front lines of conflict multiple times, got tear gassed, to like run to the other side. If you get tear gassed by an Israeli, run to the other side and hide. You can have total flexibility with Verizon. The home internet plans start at $25 a month. But yeah, when I skateboard, like, I don't know, like I know my limits. Like I'm not gonna do anything stupid on the skateboard. I'll usually just do flat ground stuff, and I know my little routines that are generally safe. So it's like nowadays, it's like it's all about longevity and speed. Not so that I can binge and game, but so that I can work at the speed that I need to sustain longevity. And in order to do that, I mustn't die anytime soon. Okay. What is the goal of humanity? To propagate and to create and perhaps to make more children. If not, we can treat our art as children, as my art gives me a voice. As you can see here, this mural by Lisa Kelly. I absolutely love this because my art are my children that I will leave behind on this planet. Should we ascend? But hey, look, at least now we have Comcast, right? The Comcast corporations. We have unlimited TV channels to watch movies, play video games. So yeah, maybe just don't do anything. Just stay inside and watch Netflix.